Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Kamen Gotchard episode 5. And in this episode we get the debut of a brand new form. We got Ant Trooper. And a debut of another form too, which is like it was a gun and shot rainbows and butterflies. Yeah. It looked cool, but yeah. So in this episode, we basically get the Abyssal Sisters. Basically, we get a flashback of the Abyssal Sisters talking about what they really are what they're trying to do, and we get the name drop of their master, who is Gillion, and they want all the Kimmies, and they want the Gotcha driver to open the door to darkness. I'm getting mad Kingdom Hearts vibes, but it seems one-dimensional right now. It just seems like we just got a villain who's just like, yeah, I want to just open a door to darkness and have complete tyranny and just darkness all over the world and just, and that's it. Like it seems one-dimensional right now, but I'm hoping that it gets more fleshed out, more intricate, later. Especially since we haven't seen up to now. We haven't seen what this master of theirs looks like. So yeah. So right now he's impatient that they haven't gotten the driver and haven't gotten the Kimmies and the Go driver yet. So he basically wants them to go off and just start making amalgams. They decided that they're just gonna start making a bunch of amalgams. And we see one guy we get this dude who is like, we get a detailed thing about him later, but one of the sisters actually takes him and makes him into amalgam, but we don't see the Kimmy that she uses until like we don't see the Kimmy that she uses to turn him into amalgam until later on in the episode. So but this dude, turns out he was a pro wrestler at one point, but then he went kind of crazy and just starts, back breaking people. And I ain't talking about the good kind. I'm talking about the we fighting kind. Like, yeah, he goes around just back breaking people, back breaks like these random dudes in an alleyway or whatever, because he bumped into them. But yeah, so we see that Ichinose is at school, and we did get the flashback of Minato telling them what the Abyssal Sisters also wanted to do, and he didn't tell them about their boss, but he told them like what they want to do with the driver and stuff like that. They want to just make everything into darkness. So we see that Ichinose ends up talking to Renge and Sabimaru, and she gives him back Mantis. And he ends up giving her back the cards that the Kimmies he got from her, and he tells her that thanks to Sabimaru that they were absolutely able to capture 6 Kimmies. They got 6 Kimmies, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see all these Kimmies again. Like they specifically showed these guys one by one, so most likely we're gonna see these Kimmies again. And we now that Ichinose is basically only captured 3, but she also says that Sabimaru is the one who was the best, who basically got all the Kimmies and stuff like that. She kind of just planned it out, but she tried, and Ichinose is like, hey, can you help me out? He's like, teach me how you did all that. And then she's like, hey, she's trying to get money out of him. It's gonna be 10K. It was gonna be 10K a Kimmy, and he's like, nah, forget the money, man. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So they end up going to this wrestling, this like pro wrestling school, and they end up going there, and turns out that's where there's another Kimmy. They end up finding another Kimmy there, and we see that the owner of the gym is starts attacking them and stuff like that, because he thinks they're Yakuza members, but he finds out that they're just students, things like that. Turns out the actual Yakuza dudes actually come up in there, and they were negotiating with him at first, but he told them no. So now they're trying to take the gym from him because they want the land that it's sitting on. we never find out what it's for. Like, we never find out what it's for. Like, why, what they want it. We just know that they want the land. Like, we don't know what is in the land, but he just want the land. So that's when they started trying to destroy the place, vandalize the place, and that's when and that's when we see out of nowhere Wrestler G. But it was just a possessed like wrestler doll dude, who is also a Kimmy, basically. He goes off and it looks weird as hell, but we see that he ends up in this. He possesses like this little wrestler toy, and he beats up all the Yakuza members. And then that's when Ichinose ends up henching into a new form where he turns into a gun, but he uses these other two Kimmies to I'll have them put up on the screen, but he basically turns into a gun. And you see that Kudo ends up using him. She shoots it and ends up creating butterflies, rainbows, and flowers. And the Yakuza members like get like inebriated, I guess, and they end up leaving. So that's when the old man, he ends up thanking them for what he ends up thanking them, and he goes off and he talks about how he used to be like this good wrestler and stuff. He was called Sunshine something, and yeah, that's when the big dude from the big dude that they ended up recruiting has now become Amalgam, and he's like he has a fist for a face. And he ends up he's transforming, and turns out this guy used to be a pro wrestler from that school, and he went crazy at one point, and he ended up crippling the champion and also hurt a bunch of like audience members. So now this guy's freaking crazy. And that's when we see Ichinose hinges up to take him on, and Ichinose gets his back broken. He gets this whirlwind backbreaker move just gets used so much, and we see that Ichinose gets whirlwind backbroken, and that's when homeboy gets ready to finish them off. But that's when Spanner comes in and like two shots the dude, and then like the Malcolm guy, he's like, yeah man, screw this man, I'm out of here man, I'm gonna fight you next time, babyface. Don't be trying to steal my spotlight, man. I'm out of here, man. Like, he just walked off. Like, he wasn't even all that hurt from Spanner. He just walked off. He's like, man, screw this, man. I'm out. Peace. So Spanner tries to take Wrestler G away from the old man, and that's when Ichinose is like, nah man, this is his tag team partner. And that's when Renge and Sabimaru also stand up against Spanner, and that's when Kudo herself also stands up against Spanner. And Spanner is like, man, y'all a joke, I'm out. That's the end. We don't see him again for like the rest of the episode. So that's when Ichinose is asking he asks the old dude to train him and teach him how to fight this thing, and he ends up saying that, yeah, I can't teach you right now because my body's too old. I'm an old dude. So Wrestler G ends up possessing him and transforming him into like his younger self, technically, and makes it and by him doing that, he ends up training Ichinose, and Ichinose is getting his back broken multiple times in this episode. And I'm just like, bro, like, there is no amount of icy hot that is going to help you. You gotta go to a friggin' hospital. And I'm pretty sure he's getting hit on the same spot. You get hit, like, if you already got something that's like hurting, and you just keep hitting it, it's gonna get worse. And his back is getting broken multiple times. And we see that Ichinose is trying or whatever. And this episode had a lot of heart. It felt like I was watching one of those movies. I felt like I was watching some Rocky stuff, or some kind of movie where like the underdog is trying to beat the champion, like the freaking douchebag champion or something. Like, that's what this episode kind of felt. It felt like that's what this episode felt like. It felt like one of those kind of movies. So he ends up
this is not gonna be cool.
He ends up learning how to use these. He ends up learning how to like combat this move, like combat the whirlwind move. And when he learns how to combat this move, we see that the next day he ends up getting ready to fight our Malcolm guy. He comes back and they end up fighting the ring. They fight in the ring and they're going at it, stuff like that. We see that Ichinose transforms into his new form, which is Ant, which was a wrestler Ant, where he uses the wrestler G card, the wrestler G Kimmy, and he uses the Ant Trooper Kimmy and becomes Ant Wrestler. And this form is electricity. Yeah, it's just straight up electricity. This form actually looks pretty cool. I think this form might be like one of my favorite forms. It has nothing on the. It's another form where there's nothing on the legs. There's nothing on the legs, man. It's like all these forms are top heavy. All these forms are like mega top heavy. You know, I understand like majority of your power is gonna come from like, you know, your top part, but like right now it's like, yo, like. Hey, where the leg armor at? You ain't got knee armor. It's just the black and silver down there. But you got all this majestic, shiny, metallic, chrome, gold, and blue. And it just looks dope up there. But then you go down south and it's just like, it's trash. And I'm from down south. It's trash. But overall, the form looks dope. I like the powers of it. I mean, it's electricity, like one of my favorite elements. Or sub elements, so it was cool. So he transforms into this form, and then while they're fighting, we see that Wrestler G is able to possess the old dude. While also being bonded with Ichinose, and we get like the confirmation of a different kind of possession when it comes down to human and amalgams, to where the Kimmy is not being attracted to the human's malice. Is not being attracted to the human's malice. They're being attracted to the human's like positive emotions that also coincide with what the Kimmy wants. So instead of it being amalgam, which is based like a parasitic kind of relationship. When with Wrestler G and the old dude, it was like a symbiotic relationship where they both benefit from the fusion. So yeah, I do like that. And I also hope that this isn't something that gets forgotten about later. Like this concept of how, you know, a Kimmy gets with a human. I hope this concept isn't forgotten about later. I hope it's like kind of more expanded upon, you know. We might possibly see other people do it, which is cool. But yeah, so he turns into Wrestler G, and they just jump this fool. They just jump him, and then when they jump him, they like do a double clothesline, and then after that, Ichinose comes in with the rider kick, and he rider kicks him, and we see that Minato comes up, takes the dude that was the Amalgam, erased his memories, and then gives him to the cops, and we get a heart-to-heart talk with the old dude, he's telling Wrestler G goodbye, and also telling him that his dream was reignited, and he's not, and, you know, he has to start back from zero, but he's happy that he still got his, you know, gym and stuff like that. So yeah, episode kind of ends right there. I like the I like that, you know, Ichinose was putting together that you know, the Kimmys have numbers on them, like Hopper is 1, but then Steamliner is 9, and then you put them together, you get 10. And then like I think it was Sabimaru. Sabimaru put it together that Ichinose and Kudo, their surnames, when you put them together, they both also make 10. Also coinciding with the fact that Kudo is a co-main character. So it was cool. I like how it was putting it together like that. How, you know, these two are meant to work together. It was dope. But yeah, this episode was cool. I mean, it was better than last week's episode, and I did like the character growth we saw with Kudo, how she's, you know, starting to actually warm up to Ichinose, and she's actually being his friend, even though, you know, Ichinose's mom even said that, you know, Kudo was saying good things about you. So Kudo's coming around, and she's starting to actually like Ichinose and like being around him, and, you know, she was actually rooting for him a lot in this episode too, which was cool. So I like the little character growth we got going on between her and Ichinose, and also Ichinose has some character growth in this as well. But Yeah, episode was cool, man. I did like the little subtle, main story plot type hints we got going on with. We now know the name of the Abyssal Sisters boss, and I'm also going on the whole thing with a lot of other people are saying where uh Gildion or Gillion, yeah, Gillion, who is the leader of the Abyssal Sisters, might also be the leader of the Academy, or also might be running the Academy. Might be two separate things going on there. Might be the leader of the Academy. So, but we haven't seen him yet. We don't know what it looks like yet. We might have some Kamen Rider Saber things going on where, the Grandmaster was one of the main villains the whole time. But yeah, we might end up getting that again. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this episode of Kamen Rider Gotchard, man. What do you think about New Form? What do you think about the whole, Abyssal Sisters and finding their boss thing and the whole darkness thing? Let me know everything that you thought about this episode and all your thoughts and theories. And I'm going to see you guys next time. And remember, stay henshined.